I like to reveal what's unseen. It's another way of thinking about giving voice to what is unvoiced. By unveiling what is backstage, we think about what is behind the production that you see, both in a very material sense, but also what other forces, social, political, cultural, economic, are at work behind the scenes. My first book, Revolutionary Stagecraft, Theater, Technology, and Politics in Modern China, looks at the history of technological modernization in Chinese theater and how changes in things like lighting instruments, stage apparatus, the use of projection on stage influenced not only the aesthetics of theater in China, but also how Chinese theater artists were conceiving of the theater as a political tool. So in this, we see a kind of fantasy of technological control, the idea that if you make the light the exact right shade of bright red, it will galvanize political feeling in the audience. And so I look at this dynamic between the sort of envisioning of how a technology might be used on stage and how it was actually put into practice through a series of examples from the 1920s to the 1970s. My second project is entitled Spectacle and Excess in Global Chinese Performance, and it looks at contemporary 21st century examples of large-scale spectacle from the People's Republic of China, Taiwan, and the global diaspora. In China, the interesting question is, how do these large-scale aesthetics connect to both China's current emphasis on technological research and development, and also the Chinese state's interest in using the arts as a form of soft power and also social control within China? In focusing on global Chinese performance, however, I'm specifically moving away from a one-to-one connection between the application of technology and the techno-authoritarian PRC state to look at both how other Chinese societies might be using similar technologies for different messaging or different forms of artistic creation, and also how some artists are using scaled-down versions of the same technology to more critical ends in experimental theater productions. I'm also looking at theaters in Taiwan, and there it's a case more of how technology connects to infrastructure. So in Taiwan, recently, the Taiwanese government has promoted 5G networking throughout the island, and part of this is connected to its desire to mark itself as a technologically advanced society and the site of things like semiconductor production. What this has meant for theater artists has been the government in government-sponsored theater spaces establishing offices of 5G networking and strongly encouraging artists who are producing within their spaces to use technologies like Google Glasses or smartphone integration in their performances. And so it's interesting to see the way that infrastructure projects connect to the pressures that are being put on artists as to how they are making and doing art. Notre Dame has been such a fantastic place to do this research. First and foremost, because of the university and the college's emphasis on the international, of thinking both about the hyper-local and how we connect to the bigger world around us. And so that's manifest both in the university and the college's support for research on international topics and also the support for the arts, but more specifically in the kinds of communities that are created around areas of interest beyond the United States, beyond the current moment here in South Bend, Indiana.